Welcome to the TubeBuddy Express podcast, brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 tool to make your YouTube life easy. Each week, we discuss how you can utilize TubeBuddy to enhance your YouTube experience and make your life as a creator easier. And now, here's your host, Dusty Porter.
Hello, wonderful creators. My name is Dusty Porter, the host of this wonderful show where each and every Friday I release a new episode, 8 to 10 minutes, and hopefully helping you with your YouTube journey. As you can tell by the title of the show, TubeBuddy Express, we are brought to you by the fine folks over at TubeBuddy. It is the browser plugin that has helped me over the past couple of months actually rebrand my channel completely, changing the names, changing a lot of the descriptions, changing a lot of what I do over on my YouTube channel. And TubeBuddy has made this so much easier. So if you haven't already, click the link in the show notes. You will not regret it. This week, we're going to be talking about something a little more actionable, something that you can kind of move on to help you improve your quality of your videos. We're going to be talking all about soundproofing your room, making your space to where it gives you the best quality videos when you're recording, as you know, when it is concerning audio. So when it comes to this, how am I guess you would say, how am I able to speak on this? Well, in my free time as a freelancer, I do freelancing when it comes to doing voice work. So I do voiceover, voice acting, things like that. And I have really had to spend a good amount of money to actually soundproof and get my room to where the noise floor is below around, negative 66, negative 69 dBs. Now that is very low. That is what is required for a lot of professional recording studios, and even below that in the negative 80s and 90s. But for you, how do we do this on a budget? How do you, as a YouTube creator, one of the things that people are going to notice most about your content is, let's be real, is how it sounds. So when someone clicks on one of your videos and the first thing they hear in the background when you're talking is or a big fan blowing, or it's echoing, or whatever the scenario may be, if you improve your audio, you in turn improve your audience retention, which then will improve your watch time. So we're going to talk today about how you can, on a budget, soundproof your space and make your space recording sound and just feel way better. So let's talk about your space to begin with. So how are you recording? Like for me, I have a spare bedroom that I have turned into a recording studio. If I were to give you a review or a video overview of my setup, of kind of how I have things set up here, you would see walls that have soundproofing panels all over them. You would see bass traps in the corners. So you don't need to do all of this, but when you think of your recording space, you need to think of the smallest space possible. So a lot of people, I have clients that I work with that actually record their audio for their videos in an actual closet. Now, if you're on the video, you obviously can't do this, but if you're just doing voice dubs or voiceovers, try to pick a very small room because it gives less space for the sound to reverberate, to bounce around the room. So think of that. You think of a lot of like voice actors get started in a closet and they put a bunch of clothes and blankets and mattresses around them, and they get into a very small, quiet space. But if you're on camera, you obviously can't do that. So you need to think about your space. It needs to be small if it can be. But if you're on camera, what can you do to help improve your audio quality? So first thing you can do is get a decent microphone. Get away from these headset mics. Get away from the webcam mics. These just don't sound very good. You can get a very inexpensive microphone for your DSLR. If you're using that, you can get a Rode microphone to attach to your DSLR. If you're voicing it over, a great microphone is the Blue Yeti. These sound great. They plug directly via USB into your computer. They have a great professional tone to them. And then even if you want to step up beyond that, you've got the Heil PR40, you've got the Audio-Technica RE20. I mean, there's so many on a budget microphones. I'm not really going to get into that today. Bottom line is you need to improve your audio quality. And the first step is getting the tools of the trade. So you need to get a microphone microphone, and then you also need to get a pop filter or some type of windscreen for your microphone to eliminate the explosives. So when you say P, when you say S's, it will eliminate the sibilance of the letters that are coming across, and it really takes, I know these things seem like small things, but it will up the ante when it comes to your audio on your video. So once you've got the right microphone, once you've got the right equipment, you then need to think about how you're recording that audio. I use Adobe Audition to record all of my audio. There is a free piece of software that I've done a ton of tutorials and work with called Audacity, A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. Great little piece of software that does basically the same thing as Audition. It has a couple of scaled back features, but other than that, if you're wanting to record voiceovers or voice for your video, Audacity is a great tool for that. And so, you need to pick a software, you need to get a tool of the trade, and then when you're talking about your recording space, one of the cool things you can do is you can go to Amazon, and for literally $20, you can buy a pack of 12 to 24 sound panels and get some of that, the spray that you can spray, the adhesive spray you can spray on the back of those that doesn't mess up the wall or the surface. Now, if you're young, please ask your parents before you do any of this, but spray that on the back of these panels and put them on the walls around your recording space, and you'll be amazed at how much it dampens the actual echo that you're going to hear in your room. And so this is going to make your audio, a lot of people ask me all the time, they say, Dusty, how do you get your audio to sound so good in your videos, in your podcast? And a lot of the answer to that question is my recording space. So, if you can't afford to get the actual sound panels off of Amazon, you can actually hang blankets that you already have in your house. So go and try to find ways to maneuver and to get these blankets hanging up on your wall. And this will also serve the same purpose of helping you eliminate the echo and bounce back that sound gets, and it makes your sound reverberated and a lot of reverb, which is not what we're trying to accomplish when it comes to YouTube videos. Now, beyond that, you can get things that are called bass traps. Bass traps are the things that you put in the corners of your room. This will absorb a lot of the bass echo and will allow your voice to sound a lot fuller than it actually probably is. And so bass traps you put in the actual corners of your room to help eliminate that. So again, that's a step further. You don't really need that. Another thing you can do is get mattresses, if you have old mattresses, and put those up against the walls and the doors to help with that as well. Now, when it comes to the floor of your recording space, I highly recommend, if you have a carpeted area in your house that you can record in, go with carpet. I actually put down extra thick carpet to my wife was not very happy about it, but I recarpeted my studio with very thick, shaggy carpet because I found that really works when it comes to bouncing audio off of the floor and the ceiling, and it just sounds better. If you record in a room or a space that has hardwood floor, you're going to hear a lot of echo, a lot of reverb. You're going to hear to where your audio just sounds like it's bouncing all over the place. But if you have a carpeted space and you put up these soundproof panels, at the end of the day, you're going to see your noise floor go down, which in turn is going to make your audio sound much better. And when it comes to recording video audio, like from your camera, if you get a Rode mic or anything like that, you can use your internal mic with your camera, but most of the time that sounds very, very bad. I mean, not horribly, but let's be real, it sounds bad. And if you really want to take it to the next level and you can't afford anything, but you already have a smartphone like an iPhone or an Android device, you can open up the audio recorder in that and place it kind of close to where your mouth is and do it that way. Again, I wouldn't recommend that, but if you're wanting to do this on a budget, that's one thing that you can do. So in closing of this episode, when it comes to actual audio in your videos, remember this. It is one of the most important things. You may think video quality trumps audio. That is not the case. I've said this before on this show and my other show multiple times. If people can't understand you, how are they going to watch your videos? If they can't hear you, if they can't make out what you're saying, they will click that back button so fast, I promise you will regret it. So make sure your audio is up to the task when it comes to video. I honestly tell people this, clients that I work with, if your audio isn't to a certain level to where it's at least beyond the part of being bearable for your audience, you just don't need to create videos yet. Wait until you have a setup to where your audio is at a point to where it's at a much greater value for your audience. So, guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to start doing more stuff like this, more technical things on this podcast, because I've had a lot of emails about, hey, Dusty, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I really want to help you guys get better quality content out there so you can increase your watch time, so you can increase your audience, and in turn get your message heard, which is what this podcast is all about. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for listening to this episode. Don't forget to download TubeBuddy if you haven't already. Subscribe to my channel over on YouTube. It is Dusty Porter. And until next time, keep pressing record.